Howdy, folks. Today we're looking at Kroma number 3 from 2022 in Image Comics. Lorenzo De Felici's tale of monochromatic oppression continues as the titular young exile struggles to find her way through the jungles beyond the walls of humanity's last redoubt. We pick up with last issue's fateful cliffhanger, a life-or-death struggle that firmly sets her on a solitary path. Everyone else on the other side of the wall appears to have been driven insane by the ordeal of survival. Throughout her story, the question of madness echoes. She's accompanied on her travels by the spirits of those she has known, a Greek chorus internalizing her own worst doubts and suspicions. We learn a tiny bit more about the series' signature monsters, the giant three-eyed crocodiles who haunt the forest in search of any scrap of loose color to devour. There's a lot going on under the surface that we're not privy to. Clearly a history and a world built around some kind of gravely misunderstood mythic menace. The story pulls Kroma towards a kind of citadel, a crystalline mountain home to a king. Perhaps her father, perhaps just a nest for giant crocodiles. She's got a lot on her plate by any measure, dealing with the constant threat of death at the hands of monsters, murderous hermits, and to say nothing of the existential dislocation that comes from picking at the secrets of her world. More than anything else, she wants to return to the world she knew and the life she once lived. Even if it was a life of isolation and universal loathing, it was still more stable and secure than life among the monsters. Much of the story that isn't narrated by the interplay between various ghosts is conveyed in silence, and it's here that De Felici's skill comes to the fore. Kroma is ultimately a very small creature alone in a very big world, and her quest appears from almost any angle to be a futile one, and yet she's pushed forward by the simple exigency of not having any choice in the matter. Either she figures out a new way to live or face a certain doom, and any new way forward involves uncovering the truth of the stories at the heart of her world. As the hermit says at the beginning of the issue, stories are not blades to fight with, they are bars to build a cage. As themes go, there are fewer, more relevant ideas in currency. Ideas such as truth or fact don't enter into the equation. People are creatures of narrative. We understand the world around us through stories, and controlling those stories provides surefire means of controlling the people who believe them. Open questions regarding the truth of this strange world must await the final issue, at least in regards to whatever answers De Felici feels like providing. I have the sneaking suspicion the story won't end with any kind of expository lore dump, but I could always be wrong. For myself, I've become quite taken with De Felici's work. There's a natural sense of movement communicated with the clarity of storyboards. One of the undersung stories of the last decades in American comics has been the degree to which our domestic industry has been infiltrated by superlatively talented Europeans, taking advantage of the exchange rate to quietly dominate our shelves. A work like Kroma strikes me as emblematic of this moment and that movement.